Habits change into character. Ovid. My friends, we see stocks and bonds are up, gold is down, Bitcoin is up just a little bit. Let's jump into the S&P 500. Of course, our latest trade was a nice and successful one, up 2.32%. 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. The training today that will be in your show notes is the success multiplier formula. If you don't know how that works, or you hear me talk about it and it's not quite making sense, take that training. If you're not subscribed, go to chartingwealth.com, sign up. It's free. That list is never spammed, never shared. It's just for you guys. So let's look at where we are now. It's good to see things going red. What does that mean? It could be setting us up for another green STC going up, where we can jump back in for another up move, or the market could be topping out. We don't know. But as we look at the success multiplier formula, we see, of course, that we are a positive 4 on the 2-day chart, not reaching higher highs on this latest 2-day candle, but we're green on the STC. And we look at the weekly. Remember, we bounced off the 200 EMA. You can see it down there. If I drag it up, there we go. We bounced off 200 EMA back on the week beginning the 13th of June. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, going into the 5th week of nice up movement, reaching higher highs. That's good to see. Green there too, so we're a positive 14 on the success multiplier formula. So we'll keep our eye on things and see how they go. It goes back to a positive 15, which would mean the STC rotates back over to green. We'll look to jump in again. Now, what's up with the NASDAQ 100? Up a little bit for the day, 0.24%. By the way, the S&P up 0.29, in case I didn't say that. We can see where things were down in the morning, a little up in the afternoon, but we went ahead and pulled our trade after things rotated over, going down on us. Didn't quite make that 3.47%. Ended up with about a 1%, 0.75% profit, something like that, off the trade when we pulled it as things started to rotate over in the morning on Wednesday. So, but again, something's better than nothing. Things don't always work out. That's fine. The success multiplier formula only requires us to win how many times out of 10? 4. Watch the training, understand what we're talking about, and you will get it. You don't have to be that good a trader. You just have to follow the rules. Practice this to make it perfect. Now, and everything's the same on the NASDAQ 100 as with the S&P 500. We are a positive 4 on the success multiplier formula for the 2-day. Why would that be 4 as opposed to 1 on the half day? Well, that's what we set everything at. So how many half days are there in 2 days? 4. How many half days are there in a week? 10 in a 5-day week. So we see that we've pushed above the 200 EMA, but things are slacking off on that 2-day candle, green spinning top. So it's a slowdown in the up movement, a little bit of indecision there. On the weekly, though, got a nice green up candle, bounced off the 200 EMA, actually hit it a few times there, starting on the 13th of June, then again on the 21st of June, then again on the 27th of June, and then again on the 5th of July, all of those starting those weeks, and then things started rocketing up since then. So that's where we are on stocks. We're going to go to bonds. Always start with our short chart and see where that leads us. We can see that with bonds, what are we doing? Well, we're staying below that 200 EMA, up a little bit for the day, 0.15%. We're going to open these candles up a little bit, and you can see where, again, things are just sort of tracking down. Red on the STC. Didn't really have good jumping in points. Crossed over, only down for 2 more days, then popped up. Then down for 2 days, then popped up. Then rolled down. Again, not any good for us as far as jumping in and keeping a trade there. We look at the 2-day. It is green on the STC on 20-year bonds, and the weekly is green also. So again, we've got those bigger waves with at least the STC is green. We do see we're going in the second week of down movements on the weekly chart. and many days of down movement on the 2-day chart. So until we get a pull up or something on this half-day chart to reset the STC on this red, we just don't have a jumping in point. And you know what? That's okay. We don't have to. We're going to wait, watch, and see, and let these charts lead us. Now, let's move on to gold. Where are we there? Not quite closed out this gold trade. It is nice, though. We jumped in when gold went from green to red below the 200 EMA, so we're looking for short positions. We jumped in the morning on the 15th, and of course, we've seen things just continue to trundle down quite nicely. Down for the day 0.26%. We look at the 2-day. It is still green, but again, two nice green candles of strong down movement. The weekly is still red, even though we had 2 weeks of strong up movement. Things have really pulled back this week with a red spinning top. So with gold, we're waiting to see if we're going to be able to close this trade out successfully. If indeed things start pulling up on gold, we can take the little profit we have there. And again, if they keep going down 1.58%, remember, people are like, how do you set these profit and loss bands? It's real simple, my friends. If you look over here, average true range. It's a 14-period average true range. And what we do is we go here with the entry candle. And if you look over there by average true range on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see 1.31. Well, that is exactly what we set our mark at. We go into the little box. We set our stop level at 131 ticks, which is $1.31. We then double that for the profit. That is how we set it, and you obey those rules. And again, if things go in your direction, great. If they don't, you pull the trade and you move on to a new one. That is where we are on gold. Lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin. By the way, Patreon members, we sent out to you last night what I thought was a very helpful and insightful charting crypto. That'll be going out to the general public tomorrow afternoon after the markets close. If you want to get that early, of course, become a Patreon supporter. But we will be sending that out. I think you'll find that helpful. What do we see going on with Bitcoin? Well, if you look at the big charts, particularly where the price percent oscillator is, you will see that it's trying to cross over going up, but just not a lot of energy, sort of dying on the vine. You can sort of see where this is today. We are up 0.58%, but overall, things are just languishing over the last few days. Well below the 200 EMA here. We look at the 2-day chart. Let me tighten this up for you here. You can see where, again, it's gone up by some bumps and struggles. But here over the last 2-day candle, you can see where things are heading down. Still green on the STC on that 2-day chart. We look at the weekly, and again, you can see where things have moved up so far this week, not reaching a higher high. Still red on the STC. So what are we really waiting for? We're waiting to see we can form a good base, have a nice clean cross through the 200 EMA going up. I feel like when that happens, we'll probably have a nice crossover on that price percent oscillator going up through the weekly, what we call a weekly vertical crossover. But again, everything's still sort of weak. Bitcoin sort of struggling along. Again, we're waiting for market capitulation where everybody says they'll never buy cryptocurrency again. That's about the time everything will settle out and then things will start moving up. That is where we are, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. We always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. Patreon supporters, thank you for all your help to help underwrite what we do here for free every day. If you're thinking about becoming a Patreon supporter, particularly if you're interested in options, we have a great 3-part option series, Options Made Simple the Charting Wealth Way. You will love it. It's the first thing we send you when you become a Patreon supporter at any of the 3 levels. You appreciate what we do, support us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team here at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.